we need some energy, honey. We need some energy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Home Buyers Clubhouse. My name is Jessie Lynn. I am a triangle realtor with A to Z Realty. Erica, please introduce yourself.
Hey, I am Erica Batts. I'm a mortgage lender with New American Funding.
Awesome. And Nicole.
I am Nicole Crawford, if you guys can hear me, because it's kind of breaking up on this end. But I'm Nicole Crawford with Keller Williams Realty out of the Greensboro Triad area.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Home Buyers Clubhouse. Today is Fabulous Friday, Feel Good Friday, whatever you want to call it, Friday. We are here. We are happy. We have a guest today. Again, I love it when we have a guest in the building. Ladies, how y'all doing today before we get started? How's everything going on y'all end? Y'all loving this weather? It's beautiful, right?
Yes.
It's freezing. It's
It's
freezing,
Look,
Erica.
a
It's
little bit
freezing.
chilly, but it's beautiful outside. So it's the end of the month. Everything is good.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What about you, Nicole?
I'm doing good today. It's beautiful. Like I said, I had to go back and get my sweater because it's a little nippy out here. But other than that, I'm having a great day.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
my vacation starts today, so I am super, super, super excited. But anyway, let's bring in our guest, Miss Consuela Chapman. Hello, honey. Welcome to the Homebuyers Clubhouse.
Hello, thank you for having me.
We are so excited to have you here. So, before we get started, introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Consuela Chapman. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, addiction specialist, health coach. I've been in the field for over a decade, helping individuals improve their well-being. I am the practice owner of, again, Choices and Wellness, located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Um, and so we got some really good things coming up this month of May, because May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in the program.
Awesome, awesome,
Ooh.
awesome. Yes, we're really excited to have you here. I saw your post in another group and I just had to have you on the show because everything that you said you're having from next month you're having something on generational health. You want to talk about that?
Well, it's Together We Thrive.
Mhm.
It's a brunch. Initially, it was going to be later in the evening, but it's evolved into a brunch. And the theme is breaking barriers and generational curses. And we're going to be talking about the different trauma nuances, particularly in the Black community, and more specific to women of color. Mhm.
Okay.
Definitely, definitely. You want to kind of hit some of those today, some of the issues, because I know here we talk about, people pleasing, we talking about saying no more, we talk about um self-care. Try to talk about it all. So do you
Mhm.
want to hit some of those and some of the things that you see in our neighborhood?
Oh, definitely.
Hmm.
Particularly the people pleasing being uh, a nuance of trauma, right? Um, and there's a financial trauma can be rooted from some individuals maybe growing up in poverty, right? That this need to overperform and chase the dollar because they've experienced not experience not having, and they don't ever want to feel that way again.
Hmm.
For instance, and so I really want to kind of key on those
Uh-oh.
two as it relates to that we're talking about, which is being a realtor, because there is this drive, to sell, and there is numbers driven, right? And
Hmm.
then there's this need to there's a customer service aspect, and there's a degree of people pleasing and boundaries possibly being challenged, where you're getting calls and all kinds of day from clients, or clients wanting this and that, and um, sometimes we can lose ourselves in our career as a result. Hmm.
Yes, definitely. That's the biggest thing for us because I know for me, I don't know how to turn it off. And Erica, she's a loan officer as well, so she's in this industry. And a lot of our audience, we have some self-employed people here as well. But a
Hmm.
lot of the issue is we don't know how to turn it off. We don't
Mm.
know how to turn it off because, like you said, we don't want our family to deal with what we've dealt with in our past. We come from
Hmm.
nothing.
Hmm.
We've seen the struggle, we felt the struggle or
Hmm.
whatever. So it's constant go, 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 go.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
sometimes, I know we have to turn it off.
mhm. Exactly, because just like a light that stays on all the time, what eventually happens? It burns out. you know
Exactly.
and
Right.
some of you guys can attest to what burnout uh feels like in the job. There's has a tendency to show up as a lack of compassion. We might be a little bit more irritable and agitated and short with our peers, our colleagues, and maybe even that person like that. I was that customer. No, show me this house, show me that house, and I know that
Right.
my realtor was like, when is the woman make a decision?
Definitely. Definitely.
Mhm.
And see, our audience, the majority of our audience, they range from 18 on up, and
Mhm.
they are mostly home buyers. We don't have a lot of self-employed people here. So
Okay.
for the people out there, the kids that's going to college, for the person that's working 9 to 5, the person that's working 3, 4 jobs, the person that's stressed out right now, that want to buy a house, because
Mhm.
that the housing market is very stressful.
Right.
So could you drop some advice for them as well, and then just kind of,
Mhm.
you
Oh,
know,
sure. I wrote down a couple things, and really, pausing on purpose. And when I say pause on purpose, it's almost it's like pivoting. We hear that term a lot. It really became real popular over the last couple of years. Is because it maintains momentum. You're not stopping. It's really giving yourself a reason to pause and kind of assess before you do your next move. And with that pause, you're not exerting as much energy. So when you're scrolling and you're looking for that home, I mean it could be daunting. And it's like, oh man, am I ever going to find something in my price range? Am I ever going to get approved? Or, it's kind of like individuals can feel like they're jumping over hoops sometimes, which can lead to a mental and emotional exhaustion. But if you pause on purpose, you're able to kind of refuel and engage in some self care. Now, I was talking to one of my clients earlier, and often a lot of times people are like, well, I get my nails done or I get my hair done, and I'll say that's nail care and that's hair care. Self care doesn't necessarily have to have a dollar assigned to it.
mm,
Self care can be the things that um, not immediately getting out of the bed, setting your timer on your Keurig to brew the coffee. So when you wake up, your sensors are already kind of being awakened to the smell, because you like the smell of coffee, fresh brewed coffee.
mhm.
You're laying there, you're hearing the birds chirp, and you're feeling the warmth from the sun or whatever coming through the window, and there's a technique, it's called the 5 4 3 2 1 method. That's it's a mindfulness technique that really is beneficial for reducing stress and anxiousness that can occur when you're in the process of trying to purchase a home.
So why is it called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
The five senses.
Okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay,
Hmm.
okay. Ladies, do y'all have any questions?
I actually did have a question where you're saying pause on purpose.
Hmm.
With that, what does that look like? Because like
Hmm.
right now, if you're a home buyer, you can't really afford to pause
Hmm.
because you have all of these, you're putting in offers,
Right.
the rejection that comes with, I've put in 10 offers, I haven't gotten any of those accepted,
Mhm.
and a lot of people are getting frustrated.
Right.
And so when you're saying pause on purpose, what does that look like within the home buying
Hmm.
process?
Hmm.
That's
Well,
good.
there's a saying that's what's meant for me is will be. And when we're constantly hyper vigilant, again it creates a sense of that fight or flight, right, which is not a really good place to constantly be in. And if people can create this catchphrase, right, and that could be that what's meant to be will be, um, that's pausing on purpose. You get what I'm saying? Like it's giving yourself a moment to kind of take a deep breath. It is
Mm,
what it is. And when it's meant for me to, when it's meant for my offer to be accepted, it'll be accepted. I'm not pressed. I still have a roof over my head. I still have X, Y, and Z. I still have options. It's when people kind of feel like they're, and this might be the case for some, but when they feel like they're in a corner, that's when, that they have a tendency to become agitated and irritable and things of that nature. But if you pause on purpose and pivot, then it's less likely to affect you in such a way. Mm-hmm. It makes me think too of even thinking outside of, say, Wake County, right? The idea might be I wanted to buy in Wake County, but guess what? I mean, there's 200 homes available. The reality of your offer being accepted, if you're not offering 10, 15, maybe upwards of more over the asking price, it's likely not going to happen.
Right.
But you know what? Let me pivot. Is an extra 25 minutes really a big deal on my commute if I move out to Johnston County or if I move out to Orange County or whatever it is? You know what I'm saying? Assessing your options really makes a difference. And sometimes you have to pause on purpose to kind of look at the panoramic view. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I like that. That's good. That's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Nicole looked like she had something to say at the bottom.
I didn't. I was just shaking my head yes, because actually what I was going to ask, she answered in while talking. So
Okay, good.
Okay, definitely. Okay, so for me, this year I made the decision. I said, you know what? And we talked to our audience about this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna say no more. For the people who love to people please, for one, they don't know how to say no. They yes, 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 I can do that. Yes, I can. Sure, sure, sure. I can do that. Yeah, okay, because they don't want to disappoint anyone. But then before they know it, they're burnt out. They're going through a state of depression. They are feeling down and they
Mm-hmm.
don't know what to do with it. And at the end of the day, it's really no one's fault but theirs because it's so easy to say no. But
Is it though?
is it? Because
It's not easy for everybody to say. Now it's easy for for you or me. I have no problem saying I can say no, nah, and shake my head. It all means the same thing. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But for some people, it's not that easy. And so I actually give homework assignments, and I'm like, get you a mirror and practice whatever one flows. Make it your own. Not today or whatever it is. But you have to put it into practice until it becomes your new normal.
see, for me, my personal life, oh no, is easy. Work life, I don't know how to say no. My husband, he never says no. He'll lie or he'll just say yes, and then before you know it, it's like I don't even have a day off.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, yeah.
I think when you build, especially when you build in a business, which all of us are, it is harder to say no because you don't want to miss out on that opportunity or whatever. So you find yourself taking a work call at 9:30 at night, or those type of things where it's just like, okay, these are the things I need to do in order to build my business or to be successful in my business.
Right. Now there is some truth in that. Right. But I had to even learn that everybody's not my client.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And and I'm gonna let that marinate. Everybody's not your client. So even though you might have took that phone call at 9:00, that don't mean they signed a contract with you. You know what I mean? And now you're up because when the phone call ends at 9:15, you're still ruminating over it, disconnected from your husband or whatever. You get where I'm going, and so that's where the importance of maintaining boundaries, and having a healthy, not to sound cliche, but a healthy work-life balance. Now that looks different for everybody, but you have to create that blueprint for yourself.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. So I was kind of playing around on your website as well, and I see you offer a ton of services. Do you want to talk about those services and how could they benefit some of our future buyers out there, some of our the ones that's kind of discouraged and they're kind of going through, they can't get pre-approved, the ones that have been pre-approved, the ones that can't seem to get from here to here. They're just down in life. They can't find any positivity in life. If they can't find any good right now or anything. Do you have any services that you could offer to them, or do you have any advice that you could offer to them as well?
Oh, most definitely. It's two things, possibly three. I like to say, life is a journey that's meant to be enjoyed. And a lot of times people's joy or happiness is based off of societal or other families' expectations. It's kind of like checking the boxes. Folks will be like, well, I got my dream girl or I got my dream husband. It's time to get the house. Check that box. It's time to get. Well, we can't get that. And it's like even when they do get those things, they end up on this turquoise couch over here because they're like, I thought I would be happy. And it's helping them associate, happiness isn't something that you can purchase. I like to say happiness can be found on the intersection of joy and gratitude. And it's the things, and if we really do a self-assessment, the things that bring us joy aren't monetary. So with that being said, for
that's the word right there.
Who are employed, not self-employed, but because typically when you're self-employed, you don't have the EAP benefit. But if you work for an employer and you have an employee assistance program, they typically offer short-term time limit sessions. Doesn't have to be a medical diagnosis. It's a problem-solving approach. And I would definitely recommend that. And they're free, so check with your employer about your EAP benefit is one. And for individuals who are self-employed or uninsured, there's resources such as Open Path. There's something called the Loveland vouchers that cover the cost of therapy. And those are in partnership with some of the directories like Therapy for Black Girls and things of that nature.
And just because she's saying therapy is not always a good thing, it's just they're there to pretty much help you figure out like what you're dealing with and what you're going through. And I tell a lot of people, for me, I do my prayer and my meditations early in the morning. And a lot of the times I don't realize I'm going through stuff until I get in there and I start talking or I start praying or I start writing in my journal. And that's kind of like what therapy is. You're talking and you're getting it off of your chest, getting those words out.
Oh, definitely. We have a tendency, kind of tying it back into trauma. One of the things that, allows people to survive, right? We compartmentalize, right? And I call it putting it on the shelf. And just like when we all have a pantry, some people's pantry is more organized than others. But when you have too much stuff on those shelves in the pantry, they start falling off, breaking, and that kind of is a metaphor for how it can show up in your life too. And it's like, Lee, I've been trying, we're controlling all these different aspects of our life to get through, but that stuff isn't gone anywhere. It's still on the shelf, and it might show up, you being acting out in certain ways. For some people it might be overspending, some people it might be the people pleasing, might be alcohol, let's go meet for a drink. I understand it's Wednesday, but not everyone, you know what I'm saying? But right. How they're coping. And and social drinking can easily evolve into something more serious if it's not, if people aren't self-aware, and put a boundary on that too.
Awesome. I like that. And I think that's about it. If the ladies don't have, y'all have any more questions? We want to talk about work-life balance. We've kind of hit that. So, all right. So let's talk about this brunch you're having, or this event that you're having, so the audience doesn't know where to find you. Tell them how they can get in contact with you, and let's go from there.
All right, perfect. So again, the Together We Thrive brunch is going to be at the West Room. It's about breaking barriers and generational curses. We're going to have a panel of local experts in the mental health field, and someone who is an expert in diversity and inclusion. And it all kind of fits together. It's one of those things where we're going to have some resources. We're going to have question and answers, because a lot of times individuals, they associate trauma with, well, ain't nobody trying to kill me, I ain't never been in an abusive relationship. It doesn't have to be something necessarily physical, or I wasn't sexually assaulted,
Right.
And those are all traumas, but there could be other traumas. There could be childhood emotional neglect. One of the things that really is associated with people of color, women, is that the strong Black woman, or I'm the strong friend, and I'm like, is that really a compliment? We're strong because we had to be. We if we had a safe place to land and somebody to hold emotional space with us, we could be vulnerable. But unfortunately, that's not always the case. And so we're going to be talking about how to deconstruct the protective self. Because one thing about that vest, I use a lot of metaphors, that protective self prevents people from coming in, but it also prevents things from going out. And those connections, that might show up as, I don't really, I can't work with women, or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you just hit everything, because
Right.
like one of the best things that I've ever done was get a life coach or whatever, and that was one of the things. I'm a giver, but I don't ever like to receive, because I feel like I'm being a burden to somebody else or whatever. I don't want to put my problems or my issues on anyone else. But yeah, it feels good for me to help them, but I'm never ever receiving anything. And like you said, all of that is just kind of it's never going out, and it's never ever coming in. So we always got to be superwoman in our neighborhood. We don't want to look soft. We don't want to. Yeah. So
Yeah, I can identify with that, because I've always been. I said, what is it? We most of the time we are independent not by choice, but by force.
Yes.
We're like, I don't want to be independent.
And that's what I had to learn whenever I married my husband a few years ago. I had to learn how to allow him to be the man. I had to learn how to depend on him and say yes, or sit back, because I have to do everything. I got to fix it, because I can do and fix almost anything on my own, but I have to learn how to allow him to do it, because sooner or later all this is on my shoulders. I'm taking on more, and I don't know how to delegate or allow someone else to step in and help me.
Yeah, trust, control, intimacy, self-esteem, all that is impacted by trauma. And that protective self, that control mechanism, because somebody let us down, somebody disappointed us, and as a result, or somebody hurt us. So now we got parameters in place. Now, you know what? I'll do it.
Yep.
We're not giving people an opportunity to show up for us, because we're afraid to be disappointed and let down.
Yep. That's my issue, Yep.
Yeah. But I like to tell my clients, our voice is our power tool. And at Together We Thrive, we're going to have an open mic. We're going to have we have a couple of people already signed up that's going to engage in their healing monologues. So if you're a poet And you don't even have to be a poet, but these individuals, they write poetry, and I do as well, are going to be sharing some of their healing monologues. It's kind of, silence feeds shame. We have to normalize and get comfortable talking about uncomfortable topics if we want change.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Whew. Sometimes you got to get uncomfortable. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Ladies, y'all have anything? We good?
No, it's definitely good stuff.
Quiet. Be quiet. You giving us everything. All right. Awesome. Well, Consuela, again, tell them how to get in contact with you if they want to reach out. I don't even see your website up there. I need to drop your website below. So
So the tickets for Together We Thrive can be purchased on Eventbrite. If you want to schedule a consultation, you can reach out to info@choicesandwellness.com. Or you can give us a call at 919-355-9145. We do have a sliding scale for individuals who are underinsured or don't have insurance. We do take private pay, and we do take most insurances, as well as the EAPs. We don't want cost to be a barrier, and I am one of those individuals that believe that therapy should be viewed as a preventive tool, because everybody needs mental maintenance, just like we need physical maintenance. We go and for our checkup. So, we have to check in, with our thoughts and feelings as well, and if you don't know how to, that's where, talking with a therapist, can help guide you on how to do that.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much again today. And I'll make sure I get your info right up under our video online, because we always have a lot of people, they always come in later after they get off work or something like that, and they have questions. So I have your info up there, and I'll make sure they get in contact with you. Thank you so much, Consuela.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank
Enjoy the
you.
rest
Have
of
a
your
good day.
Friday. All right,
Bye bye. Have a good weekend.
you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, ladies, that was good. That was good.
That was
I needed that refresher session. It's been a while, been about a year or so. So yeah.
What a way to close out Financial Literacy Month.
Yes, yes. Getting ready
absolutely.
for Mental Health Month. Is it
Right.
Mental Health Awareness Month this
Yes.
month? So yes. Yes, 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 yes. All right. Well, ladies, I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, audience. I hope you enjoy your weekend as well. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I'm a triangle realtor with A to Z Realty. You can reach me at 919-818-9854. Miss Erica.
Hey, I am Erica Batts. I am a mortgage lender. You can reach me at 919-608-7916.
Nico.
And I am Nicole Crawford. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty, and I can be reached at 336-457-3007.
And you guys can reach us at the Clubhouse on Facebook, at Home Buyers Clubhouse on Facebook and our private group and on our page. And you can also reach us on YouTube at the Home Buyers Clubhouse. You can find us online at www.thehomebuyerclubhouse.com. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. We hope you have a great day. Have an awesome weekend. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.